Hello and welcome to the new episode of Ladder Legends. Today it's time for the big Koraidon. 2 weeks ago I was participating in a local and the winner of that local, Rahim Fazan, also known as Present, some of you might know him, played a very cool Choice Band Koraidon team with very cool picks in Whimsicott, Farigiraf and Ogre Cornerstone. And because that was a team that featured Koraidon in a different way, not the usual clear amulet set, I thought I wanted to give it a try today. So these 6 are the Pokemon we are going to use today, and as you can see we have very cool sets, like 4 attacking moves Koraidon because we run the Choice Band item, a Sash Whimsicott with Terra Dark actually, Ogre Cornerstone, Safety Goggles Farigiraf with Psychic, and a Fluttermane with Booster Energy on Sun, and a Choice Scarf Chiyu. But why we use these items and these sets, I can explain you in detail now. So this Koraidon is about damage. Terra Fire, Sun boosted, Orichalcum boosted, Flare Blitz, Choice Band, OKOs everything. And this is the whole reason why we use this Koraidon, because we use this Koraidon in a Miraidon way. You remember how many teams play Choice Specs Miraidon to one-hit KO their opponents? Koraidon can do the same. The problem that Koraidon lacks is that it doesn't have this broken spread move in Dazzling Gleam or Discharge, but it also has a very strong momentum move in U-turn and very strong stabs in Close Combat, Flare Blitz and Outrage, because all of them have 120 base power, and this is just a huge breaker. This damage output this Koraidon deals is a lot. You will see it later in the games. This is just such a fun Pokemon, and Koraidon is a Pokemon you also probably always lead with, because you want to set up the Sun for your team and you want to break holes into your opponent team most of the time. And we are running a Jolly Nature because the damage output is already good enough, and to outspeed Modest Miraidon, Adamant Shampoo, and at least Speed Time, Max Speed Fluttermane or Max Speed Miraidon is pretty cool. Because we also have Tailwind, which Miraidon teams have as well, but a common turn 1 is they lead Whimsicott Miraidon, you lead Whimsicott Koraidon, both Whimsicott go for Tailwind, and since our Koraidon is faster than the Miraidon probably, we can go for a Terra Fire Flare Blitz into the Miraidon, and this is pretty nice. We have this kind of bulk to survive Terra Water Surging Strikes and Rain from Urshifu, and we have max speed to be better into the mirror, into the Whimsicott mirror, and Terra Dark is just there to not get taunted, and is also pretty nice defensively against Shadow Rider, because if you go Terra Dark you can survive 2 Astral Barrages, and Terra Ghost is cool, but especially in close team sheet I think Terra Dark can be pretty valuable. Next up we've got Ogre, because Koraidon likes support a lot, and the worst matchup for Koraidon is Terra Fire Calyrex Ice Rider by far, because many teams just rely on Fluttermane, Chiyu, Koraidon, and they all don't do that much damage, and the whole team just dies to Glacial Dance, and this is where Adamant Ogre Cornerstone takes its place, because Ogre Cornerstone cannot get redirected by Amoonguss, and Ivy Cudgel is a clean one-hit KO because we are running an Adamant Nature. And if the opponent has Incineroar with Intimidate, you can also go for Helping Hand with Farigiraf, because as you probably saw before, we've got Helping Hand on our Farigiraf. Did I mention that we have to Terra to get the OKO? I think I didn't, but Terra Ivy Cudgel is pretty good into Calyrex Ice Rider, and Power Whip is just there for OKOs on Urshifu Rapid Strike, for example, because Horn Leech is just not strong enough. Wood Hammer is an anti-synergy with Sturdy, so that's why we decided to run a Power Whip on this. And Ogre is just a great Pokemon in general, because rock coverage in the current meta is really strong. And it helps in a Sun team, because in the Sun team you really want to threaten Fire types as well as Water types, and Ogre does both in one slot. So as I just said, we've got Helping Hand on our Farigiraf with Terra Water and Safety Goggles, because we already got 2 grass types, but Farigiraf is mainly there to be prepared into into the double fake out cycle stuff, and this double fake out cycle stuff sometimes has Amoonguss, and not getting redirected is pretty cool, or not getting spot, because you usually don't bring Whimsicott, Ogerpon, and Farigiraf anyways in a matchup, and to have two Pokemon that are immune to Spore is pretty cool. And it also really helps into Smeargle, because Smeargle can go for fake out or Spore, and Farigiraf can block fake out, can block Spore, and this is the main reason why we have safety goals on this Giraffe. And our investment is that we survive Final Gambit from Annihilate, but we also survive 2 Glacial Lances from Ice Rider, and that's pretty nice. The rest is just put into Spadef to help with stuff like Raging Bolt or Calyrex Shadow Rider. And we are running Psychic and Hyper Voice, Psychic over Psychic Noise, because we want to threaten Urshifu and Amoonguss for a little more damage, and Hyper Voice is just really nice into Ice Rider to break Ogerpon Cornerstone Sturdy and deal some damage, and just Farigiraf is just there to click Helping Hand or Trick Room anyways, and Hyper Voice is just there if I want to damage both opponents, and that's why we decided to run this kind of set. Next up, we've got Fluttermane, and Fluttermane is just the classic 3 attacks protect set. Shadow Ball is just really good when Shadow Rider is the most used restricted Pokemon, and Moonblast and Icy Wind are just great, because Moonblast is your main damage option, and fairy types are very good offensively in the current meta, and Icy Wind is just great support for Koraidon, for Chi-Yu, for Whimsicott, for literally everything, and having a good speed control is just good. And we have enough speed to outspeed Adamant, Urshifu, and Tailwind when our booster comes up. And you are asking probably, why do you want booster if you have a Koraidon on the team? But the booster energy is just nice. If the sun runs out, you still get the speed boost, or if you decide to lead Flutter Chi-Yu and bring Koraidon in the back, you immediately get the speed boost. And we already have a focus sash on Whimsicott, so there's not really a different choice. You can play like Life Orb, but you want the bulk, because we are so invested that we survive Jolly Icicle Crash from Chiempao, and that's pretty valuable. So enough special attack to get most KOs on the Shadow Rider, like only if a Terra Ray can survive a Shadow Ball, but Terra Fairy Moonblast with Beats of Wind also deals a lot of damage, and that's why we decided on this Flutter spread. And last, we got a Choice Scarf Chi-Yu, just modest, max speed, max special attack, nothing special with Heatwave, Dark Pulse, Overheat, Snarl, Terra Ghost, because obviously we have a Farigiraf, we could run Terra Fire, but often you find yourself in a position where you want to beat Terra Ghost because you lead like Fluttermane, Chi-Yu, and then you have 2 Pokemon that are immune to Fake Out, and you don't have to switch into Farigiraf and waste your booster energy, or have a weird board position with Farigiraf, Fluttermane. That's why we have Terra Ghost, because it also helps into Zamazenta, and it's just sheet pressure overall, helps into Iron Hands. In general, not getting hit by fighting type moves is really cool. So let's see how the team does on the ladder. Alright, let's do it. I was honestly one of the biggest Koraidon believers in the early meta game, but I think it's just tough to play right now because it doesn't have a great Shadow Rider matchup, it doesn't have a great Ice Rider matchup, but let's see what we can do. Our first matchup is Zacian Regidrago, Hyper Offense. We could go Trick Room mode, or we try to use our own Tailwind, because we have Tailwind and Choice Scarf Chi-Yu, but he probably has Rain Dance Tornadus, and Rain Dance Tornadus is just the biggest counter to the team, because what am I supposed to do against Rain Dance Tornadus? Obviously I can U-turn with Koraidon, but it doesn't feel great. We can try to lead Koraidon Ogerpon. I don't know if he will bring Regidrago into 2 fairy types. I kinda don't want to bring Whimsicott, because Whimsicott is just so useless. I think Ogerpon Koraidon is a good lead because that forces him to lead Tornadus, and then I can maybe KO it immediately with Ivy Cudgel. And then I bring Fluttermane and Urshifu in, Fluttermane and Chiyu in the bag. I think I like that. Obviously, Encore Whimsicott is not terrible, but I feel like he doesn't bring Regidrago, and it's just not great into Chiyu, into Zacian. But yeah, let's see. Okay. I mean, he could go for Rain Dance, but then I can KO the Tornadus immediately. Unless he is Choice Scarf Koraidon. And if he is, we have a big problem. Let's see, maybe Close Combat one-hit KOs Urshifu. Let's take a look. The most common Zacian team has Mystic Water on the Urshifu. Koraidon against Rapid Strike without the Sun. Since we are close combat, does it KO? It does not KO, so maybe we just U-turn with our Koraidon. We Ivy Cudgel the Torn, and we U-turn the Torn as well, because the Torn could be Focus Sash. Is this a Terra on the Urshifu? It's on the Torn. Imagine I click close combat. Okay, that's okay. Because our Fluttermane is faster than the Urshifu, at least it should be faster than the Urshifu, and that's why we run the booster energy. We can OKO the Urshifu here, unless it's Jolly Urshifu, but surely it isn't. So we can hit the... well, he can just switch into Zacian as well, which kinda sucks. Oh, does the next Ivy Cudgel KO? Probably not. I could just go for Moonblast into Urshifu and Power Whip into Tornadus. Honestly, I like that play. Everything I have to do after is to store the Trailwind, which should be possible. Yeah, we just Power Whip the Tornadus and we Moonblast the Urshifu. I should be faster. And if this is Jolly Urshifu, he is so cringe. Yeah, nice. And this should KO. Here's Focus Sash. That's also pretty cringe, honestly. He goes for close combat, he doesn't go for Surging Strikes. That's perfect. As long as we connect the Power Whip. Nice. Actually, is that perfect? Because now Zacian can hit the field. It's actually pretty tough out here, pretty rough. It depends a bit on what he does. Yeah, so I think his best play is Aqua Jet Behemoth Blade. But what if he goes for Behemoth Blade into Overpon and try to Searching Strikes the Fluttermane? But that sounds like such a bad play. But he also close combated the Overpon for I don't know which reason. Maybe he expected a Koraidon switch. That's fair. That's fair. Okay, I think that's fair. But I think he should go for... So I just have to stall the Tailwind. So maybe I can switch into Koraidon, swap in... Yeah, I can switch into Koraidon and go for Protect. I will try it. He could also go for Jet and Blade, both into Ogerpon. But I just have to store the Tailwind, because now Chiyu in the Sun just wins the game. As long as he doesn't KO the Koraidon in this turn, I should win. What? I mean, I got a free switch into my Koraidon, I guess. Okay, what do I click now? I could go for Terrifire Flare Blitz into the Zacian, but the Zacian is not a threat. I will click Terrifire, that's for sure. Maybe just U-turn the Urshifu. And Icy Wind. Yeah, I think Terrifire, U-turn the Urshifu. And Icy Wind. Because I want to use Spiky Shield with my Ogerpon in the next turn. And I can do that by removing Urshifu this turn. And if he goes for Protect, that's fine, because he stores his own Tailwind. Yeah. I don't like that we have to rely on Heatwave probably, but it's okay. Okay, he CC'd, so I wasted my Terra. I could go into Chi-Yu immediately and click follow me. The problem is, now I will go into Ogerpon. And now is it Chi-Yu or is it Koraidon? I think it's Koraidon, because Chi-Yu wins the game and I want to toss Koraidon and go for Spiky Shield. Because this is the last turn of Tailwind and next turn I can just go for Heat Wave, Ivy Cudgel into Chi-Yu. Yeah. So we go for Spiky Shield. What should we click with our Koraidon? Close Combat or Flare Blitz? I think we just Close Combat with Chi-Yu. Because this could be Focus Sash. We OK over Zacian regardless. Quick Attack. That's funny. Actually, it's not funny at all. Hold on. Quick Attack? Wait. Quick Attack? Zacian. Okay. Now the question is, do I try to go for a double Spiky Shield? I obviously go for... I lock myself into Heat Wave. But I think trying to go for a double Spiky Shield is reasonable, because there are just two options. He goes for Protect with Zacian and tries to kill my Ogerpon because he has Choice Scarf Chi-Yu and he Dark Pulses my Ogerpon. Or he goes for Quick Attack into Ogerpon. If he has Sash Chi-Yu and he goes for Protect with Zacian, it's just a throw. So I will go for double Spiky Shield, Heat Wave. Okay, he's Choice Scarf Chi-Yu. He is Choice Scarf Chi-Yu. I don't get the double taked. Yeah, he's Scarf. Then my play was reasonable. Let's go, Yu. Yu is the German name for Chi-Yu. We have one turn of Sun left. Don't go for Quick Attack. That does so much. Yeah, he's... Is he timid? Yeah, we missed with Zacian. Oh man, we crit it, but if he... We lose to a Heat Wave miss. If we connected that one, we would have won, but it's okay. Quick Attack probably KOs us now. Please win with Speed Tie. If this is a Speed Tie and he wins all three, it's probably not a Speed Tie, right? But yeah, that's rough. That's rough. That's why I hate Chiyu. For those who watched my Stockholm finals, I just won because my opponent's Chiyu was blind, and every time I use Chiyu, I also cannot hit my moves. But it's okay. Like, we could see the strength of the team, even though the opponent had a very good turn one. Actually, not very good because he tagged it with the Urshifu, but Rain Dance Tornadoes is one of the worst matchups possible. And for that, I think we played it pretty well. It's just sad that we lost so close. Could I have done something differently? Perhaps. I could have went into Chiyu instead of Koraidon and click follow me Heatwave. Well, this also loses because when he KOs the Ogapom with Dark Pulse and the Chiyu with Play Rough. So yeah, whatever. Okay, against QMC. Maybe this is a better matchup. It's Rain Dance Tornadoes again, I think. Rough. It's rough out here. Chiyu looks really good. Like, surprisingly amazing. Outstanding. We could lead with Chiyu Whimsicott because Chiyu is threatened by Urshifu and Kleavor. And Urshifu at least gets threatened by Whimsicott. So I think Chiyu Whimsicott is fine. Like, if we lead Chiyu Koraidon, that's also okay. But then the problem is that he could go for Tailwind Close Combat into Chiyu with Urshifu Tornadoes. Or he could go for Rain Dance Aqua Jet. We have Farigiraf Road, so will he really go for that? Because against Tailwind Close Combat we can go Terra Ghost. Against Rain Dance Aqua Jet we could also go Terra Ghost. So this lead might not be terrible. But this time I want to bring my own Tailwind. But I also need Flutter Mane. And I also need Ogapon. Maybe I don't bring Whimsicott again. I don't think Whimsicott is that needed. And Outrage is the fourth move of choice. I've never really explained it, but it can pin down some endgames. It's a bit scary to use it in the early game because you don't know which Pokemon you target. But let's say there are two Pokemon that resist fire or fighting but get hit neutral by Outrage, then it's also possible to lock yourself into Outrage. We've got Shadow Rider in DD. We could go for Heatwave, we could go for Snarl. I completely disagree with the lead my opponent made, but like I can go for Snarl, Terra Fire U-turn, KO the Indeedee, because the Shadow Rider will, actually do I survive E-Force? Like -1 E Shadow Rider. Expanding Force, Psychic Terrain, Terra Fire, Beats of Ruin, -1 special attack, but choice specs. I don't even survive Expanding Force for sure, so maybe it's just Heat Wave, switch to Ogapon. Yeah, I think that's slightly better. Keeping Koraidon because I think like he has to Terra his Shadow Rider. That's obvious because Snarl just one-hit KOs him. Yeah, he Terras his Shadow Rider, and that's why I didn't want to go for Snarl in case he is like Terra Fairy. He goes for Terra Ghost is Trabash. And what if I just go for Snarl? What if I just go for Snarl? Now I have to connect my Heat Waves. I get a double miss turn 1. And that's game. we would have gotten a double KO next turn. If we connected with Heat Wave, next turn we can go for Heat Wave Ivy Cutter and get a double KO. Chiyu is such a bad Pokemon. Imagine we had Helping Hand on our Ogapon now. My opponent... Okay. Tornadoes, right? Okay, that's fine. Because now we have Flutter Mane on the board. But we have to connect with Heat Wave first. But, come on. Oh, this is just so sad. Oh man. Like, this game was literally just over if we connected with Heat Wave, but sometimes it doesn't go your way. But now, actually, if the Urshifu isn't Choice Scarf, we are still very much in the game. Because he cannot use Aqua Jet on my Ogapon, so I can get a double KO with Moonblast Power Whip. Yeah. If he I thought about double targeting the Shadow Rider because he goes for Protect with Urshifu. He doesn't go for Protect. Is he Choice Scarf? He is walked to Choice Scarf. And now he just goes for Terra Ghost Barrage. I can surrender. Actually, can I win this? I can win with an Icy Wind crit, I think. I have to swap out Flutter Mane for Koraidon, use Spiky Shield. Actually, it's... If I Moonblasted the Urshifu slot. Moonblast Power Whip, but then indeed the next one has Follow Me Up again. Yeah, no. But maybe with an Icy Wind crit. I have to toss Koraidon because I have to reset the speed, but losing game 1 to game 1 to a Heat Wave miss, losing game 2 to a Heat Wave miss is sad. Oh, he goes for E-Force. How many turns of Psychic Terrain does he have left? If it's just one... No, I think I still have to go for Icy Wind crit. It's just one. I know that the sun ends, but when we have our booster energy... What's more likely, Icy Wind crit or double protect? I mean, probably double protect, right? 1/3. But does Icy Wind crit even KO? Icy Wind crit doesn't even KO the Shadow Rider, even if he has no bulk. So I have to go for a double tact on Ogapon. And then I have an idea. Okay. Now... Okay. Which slot does he target? Or do I go for Follow Me Icy Wind into Icy Wind? I could also do that. What's his last? If it last... he plays it like he didn't bring Torn at all. So... Or do I just hope? Okay. Do I go for choke or for icy wind plays? Like, I can go for a double protect because he clicks E-Force into Flutter Mane. If I get the double protect then and I KO the Indeedee with Terra Walk, Ivy Cudgel, and his last is Chiyu. Next turn I can KO the Shadow Rider with Shadow Ball and the Chiyu with with Cudgel, because the Chiyu is not Scarf. I think that's my best play. It sounds pretty sad, but it is my best play. That he goes for E-Force into Flutter Mane. If he goes for E-Force into Cornerstone, I could have also played with like Icy Wind triple protect and then Icy Wind Ivy Cudgel. Get a double KO that way. But I think this path is better. We don't get it. If he targets Flutter Mane now, I'm mad. Actually, am I mad? I might be. We were one double protect away from winning. If the last is Chiyu, we had a 100% win if we got with double protect. Because, not a 100% win, but we wouldn't be in... the Flutter Mane is not in Heatwave range, so we can click Shadow Ball with Shadow Rider, it's confirmed specs, we KO with Shadow Rider. We can click Ivy Cudgel on the Chiyu. He has to be Sash, Heatwave, connect both Heatwaves and crit my Flutter Mane. And it is Chiyu. Oh man. I think my play was really fire. Like, after this turn 1, many people would have just concluded and just forfeited immediately. But I played all my odds and we were just one tagged away from winning. One double protect away. I can like double check if we always survive a heat wave with our Flutter Mane. Yeah, we literally always survived the heat wave on our range. So he has to like get a burn and then maybe with heat wave max roll, burn chip, protect, burn chip, he can win. Or if he crits with heat wave. Because if he doesn't crit, actually our Ogapon is adamant. So if he is timid Chiyu, it doesn't make a difference. But yeah, we lost both. I don't want to blame everything on Heatwave Missiles. I probably could have played it a bit more optimally as well. But losing both games on game deciding Heatwaves, that he went Terra Ghost turn 1. Like, I could have also... He doesn't know my team, I think. So if I go for Snarl Protect and next turn I go for Snarl Collision Course, it's also literally game immediately. But well played, I guess. Okay. I wanted to say we play against the most generic Koraidon team, but then we see a Heatran and an Ogapon Wellspring. That's interesting. Against Koraidon, I know that we always lead Koraidon Whimsy. And I think we bring Flutter Chiyu in the back, right? But well, Flutter Chiyu really struggles into Heatran. I really want to bring Ogapon to have some more damage into Heatran. Yeah, I like that. Kind of. Yeah, I like this composition. Let's see if the third game can go our way. Obviously, you could say, if you complain about Heatwave, you could also run Flamethrower, but it's not the same. You could run Burning Jealousy for spread move, but it's not the same. Oh man. Okay, his lead. Yeah, okay. How many players go for Terra Fairy? Honestly, I don't care if he goes for Terra Fairy, because I can just go for Tyrant Close Combat into that slot, and if he decides to go for Terra Fairy Dazzling Gleam, next turn I get Chiyu on the field and get a Heatwave, threat off. I could go for Terra Fire Flabless, but Terra Fire Flabless doesn't KO the Koraidon. I will go for Tyrant Close Combat. We are jolly. Please. Also, his Whimsicott is max speed, just like we are. Please. Don't be timid and win the speed tie. Nice! Oh, huge. At worst, it was a speed tie. So actually, I could have seen it. I didn't pay any attention at all. Which ability triggered first? I didn't pay any attention. Whatever. Now we can use Anchor on the Whimsicott. And Close Combat on the Heatran. He could go Terra Fairy, but I'm okay with that. I will just go Anchor, Close Combat. Because if he decides to go for Moonblast into Koraidon, my Anchor goes before the Moonblast. If he goes for Terra Dark, or like if he is Mental Herb, that could be a bit annoying. But other than that, or he could switch Heatran immediately into Farigiraf to block the Anchor, but then the Farigiraf still has to take a close combat. Like, I'm fine with whatever he does because I force a Terra. I force a Terra or a bad play. Whatever he does, he gets punished by it. And then Chiyu and Ogapon win in the bag. So, let's see. He probably goes Terra Fairy with Heatran, but I'm really curious what the Whimsicott does. Yeah, he goes Terra Fairy. Or is he Terra Ghost with complete hard counter? Terra Bug. Ogapon says hello. Hello, sir. And he wins the next speed tie. He won both speed ties. Like, we had the same fort, but he won both speed ties. That's tough. That's a lot of damage. 50% is really nice. Heat Wave. Don't. No burn. Okay. Now I can switch into Chiyu, I would say, and use Close Combat on the Whimsicott. It's just kind of rough if he goes for Heatwave again, but even that is okay. Because I want to chip the Sash on the Whimsicott, because then I can just win with Snarl. Or like with Dark Pulse, or with whatever. Because then I can use Dark Pulse into Whimsicott and Ivy Cudgel into Heatran. And he used Protect. Beak! He probably KOs my Koraidon now, but that's perfect. That's the position I wanted to be in. This damage is ridiculous. Choice Band Koraidon. Such a maker. A maker and the laker. Yeah, Koraidon dies, but that's the exact position I wanted to be in. Because now I can use Dark Pulse into Whimsicott and Ivy Cudgel into Heatran. Ogapon is guaranteed faster than Heatran, unless he has something like Cotton Spore on the Whimsicott. Actually, we are a grass type. I'm freaking stupid. Do I lock myself into Dark Pulse? He could have hands in the back, but then I can still switch later. Like, I can also just lock myself into Heatwave because I KO the Heatwave with Ivy Cudgel, right? Yeah, but if I miss the Heatwave, I might be doomed. But if he goes to hands, it can get a little tricky. So that's why Heatwave is still the better play. Yeah. And good players don't stop gambling. It's hands, right? Hands and attempt for a double protect. Wellspring. He attempted a double protect, he didn't get it, and now... Nice! Overheat would have just KO'd and we get the burn! Justin Burns! Let's go. I mean, it's always funny because I always get the hacks when they don't matter. Because next turn I just click Ivy Cudgel Heatwave again, because we are Choice Scarf, and I still have Whimsicott in the back as well. Actually, Taven petered out, so then I just go for Heatwave, follow me. Like, whatever, his sun is up, right? So he has to dodge 2 Heatwaves and to dodge 2 Heatwaves, and so I would say the burn didn't matter. Now we just go for Heatwave, Ivy Cudgel into him, and he probably just surrenders, yeah. That's 1-2. Two more games. Can Koraidon go positive? I would say all 3 games felt winning, but were not winning in the end. Well, the second game didn't feel winning after the turn 1, but all matchups were playable. Even though in the first 2 games we played against Raindance Tornadoes, I'm really shook that he didn't bring that the second opponent didn't bring Tornadoes. Maybe it's a sunny day Tornadoes for Chiyu, but if you have Urshifu Rapid Strike, it just feels so bad to not run Rain Dance on Torn. I feel like Rain Dance on Torn is just the best move on it next to Tailwind, because your Bleak Wind Storm gets 100% accurate. You weaken Groudon and Koraidon. You boost your Urshifu. But yeah, okay, that's. I don't like playing long games, but this is just screens or like control setup control with Terapagos. Koraidon usually should not be too bad. And against double Fake Out and Thunder Wave we have Farigiraf. Wait, it's Citrus Berry Farigiraf. Did I say in the team breakdown that we are Goggles? I thought we were Goggles, but we are apparently Citrus Berry. Whatever. But yeah, so I think we can just spam our moves. We can spam Terra Fire Flare Blitz Hyper Voice, Terra Fire Flare Blitz Hyper Voice, Terra Fire Flare Blitz Hyper Voice. Intimidate is slightly annoying, but I would say it's not too bad. And then what do we bring in the bag? I would say Ogapon. Do we bring Whimsy? Because we can Anchor the Terapagos. We can Anchor the Amoonguss. But I want damage. Whimsy doesn't deal damage. So that's why we bring Chiyu Ogapon. Damage overload. Because even if a Pokemon looks good into the matchup but it doesn't do any damage, you just lose over time. That's why I decided to bench Whimsicott here and go with the 4 I've chosen now. Could have also led with Chiyu Koraidon and bring Farik in the bag. But yeah, that's the lead. And that's just 3 Hyper Voice, break the shell moment, and use close combat on the Grimmsnarl moment. Yeah, close combat KOs Grimmsnarl even after he sets up a Reflect. That's so huge. Imagine he goes Terra Ghost now. If he goes Terra Ghost, next time we can go for like Helping Hand Heat Wave in the sun. Like if he goes for Terra Ghost Spirit Break, okay, he does not go for Terra Ghost Spirit Break. Okay, I guess. Choice Band Koraidon. He also didn't go for Reflect. Call Mind. Are you Cloak or are you Lefties? Cloak would be way better for me. Imagine I had Whimsicott in the bag and I just went for CC and switch and then go for Anchor because I cannot get redirected as well. Please be Cloak. It's Lefties. Okay. So after Protect, he is probably back to full. It looks like he would be back to full. Is it Amoonguss now? Urshifu. I could go for a Predict and CC the Urshifu, but I can also just CC the Terapagos and use Psychic on the Urshifu, like... Why not? Okay, he protects, but... That's okay. Here's Focus Sash Urshifu. I should survive this one. Yeah. Now double targeting Urshifu would have been way better, but yeah, it's Sash. If he doesn't, oh, is he back to Terra Shell? I hope he is not. He probably is though, right? It is. So I should switch into Ogapon, because I think I need Koraidon to win against Terapagos. I just have to remove all the other slots. So I will switch to Ogre Cornerstone. Right? Yeah, Ogre Cornerstone. Swap in and go for Hyper Voice. Because Hyper Voice KOs with Urshifu and it would break the Terra Shell again from the Terapagos. His only play, I think, he cannot Terra. So he only has a baby Starstorm. This is where Citrus Berry helps a lot, because I think we should survive close combat into Terra Starstorm with our Giraffe. So the Giraffe will always survive this turn. Okay, he switches to Rillaboom. Fair enough. Okay, this is a huge survival. Well, we break the shell, but he gets back to full immediately. So now the question is, I could go for okay. Hold on. Oh, this is a tough turn. Terra Ivy Cudgel could KO Rillaboom, but not always. I could go for Terra Ivy Cudgel and switch to Chiyu, because I need Farigiraf to be alive, because our Koraidon is not allowed to get Aqua Jetted. I was thinking about clicking Terra Walk Ivy Cudgel Helping Hand into Rillaboom, but then we trade Rillaboom for we would trade Rillaboom for Farigiraf, and that would not be a good trade for me. White. Please just KO. That was a bad roll. If he dies to Woodhammer Recoil, he critted. No. Okay. Does he... Does he go for Terra and Aqua Jet into my Chiyu? No, because if I just use Ivy Cudgel into Urshifu, he loses. He has to protect with Urshifu. He has to KO both my Pokemon though, so he will go for... Yeah, I can go for Heat Wave, Spiky Shield. Because he has to Terra Ogerpon here. The Terapagos here. Yeah, he Terras. He will tact. He will tact. My tact goes first. Now he has to tact with Urshifu. If I just clicked Ivy Cudgel. what does he do next turn into Close Combat Koraidon? I was thinking about it, but I also talked about the play, but it just didn't make any sense. Actually, Adamant Aqua Jet probably doesn't KO Koraidon. It only has one roll to KO. I could also go for Follow Me Close Combat into Terrapagos, but that would lose to a double Protect. If he goes for Protect, KOs my Ogre Pawn, next turn I can go for Close Combat Hyper Voice, and he gets a Protect again. But what if I go for Ivy Cudgel and he is Jolly Urshifu and then KOs my thing? I will go for Follow Me, because I... U-turn Urshifu? He won't tag with Shifu, right? Did I throw the whole game? Okay. Now I still lose to a double Protect on Urshifu. I have to do it well. Wait, he went for Protect with Terrapagos? Huh? He knew from turn 1 that we were banded. I don't have to understand. Like I also the Aqua Jet play. I think that's something I should sometimes commit to, that my opponent maybe just fumbles, because I thought, okay, what if he goes for Protect Terra Starstorm, Terra Starstorm in that one turn, and wait, what if he has Rock Polish? Nah. He's still playing. Wait. Okay. We are fine. Okay, so what I wanted to say is that if I just attack with Urshifu, it's immediately game. So I thought, okay, he protects Urshifu, goes for Terra Starstorm, gets a double KO. And then next turn, the game ends in a 50-50, because then I have Farigiraf Koraidon on the field, and he has his 1 HP Urshifu and the Terrapagos. And if I go for Close Combat into Terrapagos, he could go for Protect, Close Combat into my Koraidon, right? But if I go for Close Combat into Urshifu, predicting that, he could just not Protect with Terrapagos and go for Terra Starstorm. So he always has a 50 there, 50-50, but he decided to go for what I would say safe loss. But yeah, Close Combat. We could have also closed the game with Outrage. Also interesting that he surrenders now, but okay, I guess. GG. Alright, last game. Will we win our last game? We are 2-2 now. It could be 4-0. But yeah, I'm still not a Koraidon believer. Even if we go positive today, I'm not a big Koraidon believer. Also, I need your help for stuff. The video on that will come on Saturday. I need your help for VGC teams. More infos in 4 days. 4 days, 4 days. Isn't there a song that's called 4 days? I think there is. So yeah, let's get into the last game. An opposing trainer has been found. Number 449. Eternatus, Frostmoth, Volcarona, what the... I think I saw that team. I think it's Quiverdance, Frostmoth. I honestly think it is Quiverdance, Frostmoth. What is this? Abomination. So Koraidon is faster than Eternatus, and Koraidon just KOs everything with Terra Flare Blitz. We should bring our own Tailwind to counter their Tailwind. And for Eternatus... I mean, Chiyu also goes kinda bonkers. So does Flutter Mane. We don't need Farigiraf here. Ogapon Cornerstone is actually... It hits 2 Pokemon 4 times effective with Ivy Cudgel, but I think these 4 are correct. These are also just the main 4 with that team. So let's see if the big 4 can win the last game. It's been a ride with Koraidon. It's been up and down for me. But I can already tell you I won't bring Koraidon to Worlds. Because Koraidon, as I said, it just struggles into the top teams. I would say it's not very good because of the bad matchups. I tried to solve them, okay? I tried it. I put stuff in my builder. I can leak some stuff, but I tried Vivio, I tried Rampados, I tried literally everything. But I just couldn't make it work, so we are not using the champion. Speaking of the champion, we just go for Tailwind, Outrage, win with 50-50? No, we just go for Tailwind, Terra Flare Blitz. But who do we Terra Flare Blitz? I think we want Chip on Eternatus because the Whimsicott is not super threatening. And maybe he Terras to Terra Fairy because he respects a Dragon Claw, Scale Shot, whatever. And then we just bonk him. Yeah, I like that. Terra Flare Blitz, boom, Tailwind, boom. My Terra will go first, always, unless he has Choice Scarf Eternatus or Choice Scarf Whimsicott. So yeah, that's us. So please Terra, please Terra, please. Onegaismasu. Please. Terra, Fairy, right now. No! And it's again Max Speed Whimsicott. Are we Max Speed Whimsicott? It feels like we are not Max Speed Whimsicott. But that's still a good trade. Like, look at this damage. Boop. I would say that's not terrible. Draco. Okay, our Koraidon dies. So maybe the Terra was not needed, but what else do I want to Terra in that matchup? Now I can go Chiyu and just go for Heat Wave. I also could have went Flutter Mane and go for Icy Wind Moonblast, but no. Like now we are again in this spot. Do we go for our own Anchor? Let's see. Check summary. We are max speed. Do we... Wait, did it say 177? This is... I used the rental. This is not... this doesn't have a golden bottle cap. Oh my freaking god. Oh, it also... Yeah, it doesn't have... Oh my god. Then I will go for Heat Wave. Flutter Mane. You can find the team creator in the description. Blame him. Nah, just kidding. Don't. He built the team, and the team is really cool. So don't blame him, praise him. Light screen, but I think we should still KO in the sun. Bye bye. And now our board position is also a little better. I would say Fluttermane Chiyu is a better board than Whimsicott Chiyu. But this is wild. There's a lot of stuff that can happen now. Literally everything. It's not booster energy, so it's probably focus sash. He could go for White Guard, but I can just still go for Heatwave and Moonblast with Valiant. Okay, if he KOs my Fluttermane now with Heavy Slam, I can Encore the Valiant. And Heatwave in the sun should still do a lot of damage. Even with Light Screen up. Okay, G. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Michael. I'm a big fish. I like to miss my moves, but not this time. I'm Chiyu. Everyone hates me, but I okay with everything in the sun with Beats of Wind over Heat. Choice Bags. Beats of Wind. Terrafire. Hehe. Hehehe ha.
What was that? Best Chiyu impression you've ever heard, perhaps, right? But yeah, these were the 5 games. We went 3-2, which is nice. The 2 losses were avoidable. So yeah, the rental is also down in the description below, but it has the Whimsicott EV, so maybe you should get an own Whimsicott or something. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Let's see where we end up. Yeah, this was the last game for this season, I think. It ends 1st of August, so maybe there's a stream tomorrow. I cannot promise, but you will see, I will see, we will see, and I would say that's it for today, and I will see you next time.